Parliament. That's a very good leverage that has been provided, which is an advantage even with this Ravana called rules. And I'll take a small quote from Chanakya, who says, before you start some work, always ask yourself three questions. Why am I doing it? What the results might be? And will I be successful? These three questions will have to be asked for yourself whenever you start to work. Only when you think deeply and find satisfactory answers to these questions, go ahead. I think we have come to a stage where we have decided what this is. With the right interpretation and a successful implementation, I'm sure that we could see far better days for all of us as professionals and for this country. Thank you.
That was a Shatabdi Express, actually. The way Madam Smita delivered. But compared to the other trains, Shatabdi, you will feel the comfort. And we felt that same comfort in her delivery also. Maybe I want to bring the Thiruvilayadal in the modern form. Corporate Thiruvilayadal. பிரிக்க முடியாதது பேலன்ஸ் ஷீட்டும் ப்ராஃபிட் அண்ட் லாஸ் அக்கௌண்ட்டும், பிரிக்கக்கூடாதது டெபிட்டும் கிரெடிட்டும், சேர்ந்தே இருப்பது அக்கௌண்ட்ஸும் ஆடிட்டும். மேபி த மாடர்ன் வெர்ஷன் ஆடிட்டும் ரிஸ்க்கும். சேராமல் இருப்பது ஓப்பனிங் பேலன்ஸும் க்ளோசிங் பேலன்ஸும். வெல் ஒன்லி எக்ஸப்ஷன் இஸ் வென் நோ ஆக்டிவிட்டீஸ் தேர். சொல்லக்கூடாதது டெலிஃபோனில் ப்ரொஃபஷனல் அட்வைஸ். சொல்லக்கூடியது டிவிடெண்ட் டிக்ளேர்டு டு ஷேர் ஹோல்டர்ஸ். பார்க்கக்கூடாதது விமன் டைரக்டர்ஸ் ஏஜும் ரெமுனரேஷனும். பார்த்து ரசிப்பது எவ்ரி ஷேர் ஹோல்டர் in the financial statement, the top line sales and bottom line profit. Maybe many things I want to perceive in the modern era of the Companies Act 2013. That was a wonderful presentation, madam. Friends, please join your hands for Smita Chirimar for her lucid presentation on the new concept. Let me invite CFO of Voltech Engineering Private Limited, Madam Annapurni, to honor our speaker, C.S. Smita Chirimar. Welcome, madam. She is the Chief Financial Officer of an engineering company based at Chennai, Voltech Engineering Private Limited. Annapurni to Smita. Let me invite the Company Secretary of Access Real Properties Private Limited, C.S. Shyam Sundar. Yes, Mr. Shyam. Yeah. Otherwise, let me invite from Dr. Mohan Diabetics Private Limited, Mr. Prabhakaran. CFO, Mr. Prabhakaran. Yes, welcome, sir. It's a pleasure to have you here, sir. So, Mr. Prabhakaran, to our technical session chairman, C.A. Mohan Ramakrishna. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your presence and for your remarks and thoughts. Friends, we'll break for lunch now. We'll come back with energy for Dhanapal's session, and especially his session is power packed with the most important aspects, the prosecution provisions introduced under Companies Act. And I will also request Dhanapal to hand over his complimentary copy to the speaker and the chairman of the session. Dhanapal to Mohan. Thank you, sir. Dhanapal to Smita. Thank you. Very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back for the 8th technical session. ஆயிரம் கோடி நட்சத்திரம் வானில் இருந்தாலும் இரவுக்கு அழகு நிலவுதான். ஆயிரம் உறவுகள் மண்ணில் இருந்தாலும் வாழ்க்கைக்கு அழகு நல்ல நட்பு தான். எஸ்பெஷலி having a professional friendship among the fraternity of professionals is a blessing. This opportunity very unique opportunity. Almost 200 plus people we have assembled here from various aspects of profession, industry, commerce. Let's care, respect and celebrate this friendly atmosphere. This afternoon session is going to be a very vibrant session because the topic is enforcement mechanism under Companies Act. We have with us two eminent personalities. Let me invite on behalf of each and every one of you present here, the chairman of the technical session, CA Vedanta Ramanujam. Sir, your august presence to the dais. Friends, please join your hands. CA J Vedanta Ramanujam, fondly among the fraternity called as JVR, sir. Welcome, sir. Let me take the pleasure and privilege of inviting our author, dear author, and my good friend CS Dhanapal, the technical session speaker to this 8th technical session. Welcome, Mr. Dhanapal. Friends, please join your hands for Mr. Dhanapal. Let me take the pleasure of inviting A.S. Narayan Swami. A.S. Narayan Swami, CA A.S. Narayan Swami from Cochin. He is here along with his daughter. Sir, welcome to Chennai. To give a welcome to CA JV Ramanujam with a flower bouquet and a shawl to CA J Vedanta Ramanujam. Thank you, sir, and welcome. Let me invite an youngster, a company secretary, yes, Veera Raghava Narasimhan. Yes, Veera Raghava Narasimhan from Kanchi Karpuram Limited. பேரே மங்களகரமாக இருக்குது. கம்பெனி பேர் இந்த மாதிரி கிடைக்கிறது ரொம்ப அபூர்வம். எப்படி வாங்கினீங்கன்னு அப்புறம் சொல்லுங்கள் சார். So let me invite Mr. Veera Raghava Narasimhan to welcome Company Secretary S. Dhanapal with a bouquet and a shawl. Our speakers and the chairman, CA J Vedanta Ramanujam, a fellow ICAI and managing partner of JV Ramanujam and Company in Chennai, with more than 7 partners, with 30 years of experience in practice, have been the auditor for top public sector and private sector companies, and he have been co-opted in various committees of ICAI, has presented papers on various contemporary topics on seminars and conferences. With this brief, let me present before you CA J Vedanta Ramanujam to this August gathering. Thank you, sir. The speaker doesn't need an introduction. CS Dhanapal, a fellow ICSI and a law graduate from Ambedkar Law College, a commerce graduate from University of Madras, senior partner of S. Dhanapal and Associates, 15 years of experience in corporate secretarial, legal, with exposure in both secretarial and legal matters. He has conducted due diligence assignments on statutory compliance and voluntary audits. Passionate reader, voracious reader, passionate speaker, and a prolific writer on varied legal and secretarial matters. He regularly contributes on professional forums. He regularly writes on the latest development on secretarial and on legal front. a much sought after corporate trainer, and he has trained various corporates, including government undertaking. He has also been a trainer to the Regional Training Institute of Indian Audit and Accounts Department. He has authored 2 books, LLP Made Easy, and recently, yesterday, launched a Handbook on Companies Act. He believes in these 3. To be successful in profession, you have to be daring, you have to be first, and you have to be different. That's CSS Dhanapal for you. Friends, please join your hands for Mr. Dhanapal. Like you, I am very much keen to hear from Mr. Ramanujam on his thoughts. Very firebrand speaker. Actually, we should have made him as a speaker on such topic, but his expertise, he will sum up his entire years of experience and his views on the Companies Act 2013. So to Mr. C.A.J.V. Ramanujam.
Good evening, everybody. I happened to see one of the due diligence report of Mr. Dhanapal by coincidence yesterday. It was such a thorough report that bankers had to rethink renewing their limits of such a very big company, I don't want to name the company. Such was his extensive report. Then they came back to me, asked me whether I can do a same due diligence on the company again. I had to refuse because the report was very thorough, and most of the points he has qualified without any fear or favor. Today's topic, Mr. Dhanapal is going to present on inspection, inquiry, investigation, prosecution, enforcement. It does not look like a company law. It looks like an extension of the CPC, Criminal Procedure Code. See, many of us have these topics have not been debated or articulated either by the institute or none of the Central Council members have represented this to the government. Let me openly tell you, none of the Central Council members who got elected, who were representing the Company Affairs Committee in the institute, are represented to the Company Law Ministry on the deterrent provisions of this. Going to be a very, very harsh provisions, particularly of section 447, which is going to have a cascading effect. It is going to have a cascading effect. Please mind, it does not include just the company. It includes, I'll read out, directors, auditors, advisors, experts, valuers. They have excluded sub-staff. None of the institute, none of the elected members have represented, debated. The entire provisions have not been debated at all. Section 447 again, that only took me by surprise because the penal provisions right from incorporation of a company, misstatement in the prospectus, mismatches the objectives in the case of social and charitable companies, unintentional inducement making public to invest, impersonate investments. They have included everything. And please note, very clearly sandwiched mandatory imprisonment under chapter 29 under miscellaneous sections. They have very cleverly sandwiched this, camouflaged this under miscellaneous under chapter 29 of the Companies Bill, providing stringent and perhaps unprecedented punishment in the form of mandate. See, we have got maximum punishment. Here they are talking about minimum punishment. Mandatory minimum imprisonment for newly defined offences. There are some, I don't want to mention, there are other provisions which also provide for fairly very harsh consequences. People are crushed by law, they have no hope, that tend to evade. If laws are their enemies, they automatically become enemies of laws. Probably the makers of law have forgotten this. Maybe this is because of the recent past, because of the high profile, high value scams resulting in huge loss, either to the shareholders or to the creditors, and more particularly to the government and bankers. Maybe it would have triggered introduction of the stringent penal provisions. I am afraid whether this is going to be a clear extension of the criminal procedure code. And I have owned my apprehension about whether these stringent measures are justified at all, whether they have been adequately debated. Introduction and recognition of the serious fraud investigation office, bestowing the powers of a civil court. If you read it, you will know whether you are reading a crime act or a companies act. They have bestowed the powers of a civil court, or it is going to have a far-reaching consequences. They talk about bail, they talk about non-bailable offence, they talk about women more than 60 years who can be given bail. No, it's absolutely